have all 4 draft picks signed at training camp today. Is that a sense of relief to you or an expectation realized?
Pretty much an expectation realized. I mean, the management, Brendan and JL, they did an excellent job, and when we talked to the guys, they were all excited about being riders, so I didn't see what a holdup would be. There may have been some couple of kinks here and there, but I'm proud to have all the guys signed and ready to go.
When you watch all 4 of them today, your assessment of them?
Well, a couple of them weren't able to go today, and really I just had to go back and watch film so I don't make a on-the-field decision, but I'm just happy they're here.
Corey, obviously the real day will be Sunday for you, but what was it like to come out here today and be the guy in charge?
You know, it feels good, you know, just help leading these guys and giving them the vision and stating what we're going to do this season. And I had to get on a little bit at the end, you know, even though it's a rookie camp and we don't have the numbers, we still have a high expectation for this group. And to me, I told them, hey, you're the rookies, but you're the vets now, because they know exactly how we'll want it, and they'll lead the vets and show them how we want it done.
I guess what's your comments? Odell talked about, you know, unhappy, he felt embarrassed himself in the organization. I guess relief that he's here, but also maybe that he's kind of acknowledged what happened.
You know, the thing about it, I had a talk with Odell this morning. We just talked about, you know, embarrassing himself, embarrassing the organization. That's a standard that he has to live up to, and I have to also. And we have to walk a certain way so our careers will go in a certain path. But Odell, I think he's realized the mistake. Like I told him, I wasn't going to browbeat him. You know, he simply put himself in a position to where he has to make sure that we know that he's doing the right things. He'll start number 2 on the depth chart, and he has to work his way to be a starter. It won't be given to him, and that's set in stone. He has to earn his way on this team.
Are you happy that he owned up to the media on day 1 and he didn't try to hide from anybody?
I don't think he could hide. Have you seen Google? He can't hide from that. You know, that's a part of being a man, and that's a part about, you know, you own up to what you do. And I think that was huge. As soon as he saw me, I was like, don't duck your head. Hey, be a man about it. You did it, and let's move on from it. Let's learn from it. So hopefully he's learned from it, and we're heading in the right direction.
Do you think that he'll get some extra motivation because of what happened and drive him to play even harder?
I hope so. But, you know, Odell's a guy that I can really say, like I told him, I said, you want to do the right thing, and I know that. I said, you know, there's some youth still in you, but we just have to guide you in the right way. And there's some other things we talked about, even with his penalties, that I think Odell will be focused. And, you know, if he's number 2 in the depth chart and he doesn't make those changes, Odell will remain number 2 in the depth chart. So discipline is big, and he's going to have to show that he's making those strides to be a leader on this team.
Is that number 2 behind Brent Hawkins or number 2 on the side of the line?
I think he may go behind Kenny Rowe, and like I told you, Kenny Rowe is a young guy. He has an opportunity to start out there, and he has someone behind him pushing him, so he has a chance to earn that job. And Odell's going to make Kenny Rowe better if he's starting there, and the better Kenny Rowe becomes, the harder it's going to be for Odell to grab that position back.
Hard to see much on Ben Heenan, but I mean, from what you saw on day 1, what are your thoughts?
Well, I didn't really get a chance to look at the O-line much. You know, they're down there playing patty cake. So once we put some pads on, and we'll see what we can get from the O-line. You never grade an O-lineman off of shorts.
Yeah. He says he wants to be a starter. You got to like hearing that from a guy that's your number 1 pick, a guy that wants to make an impact.
That's good. And like I told the guys when we started, desire is not enough. You have to put the work in also. I'm glad that that's his desire, but you know he's going to have to show us, and he's going to have to show himself that he can compete at that level to be a starter in this league.
From what you saw today, were you happy with the conditioning some of the younger guys, or some veterans, some younger guys brought to?
Yeah, there were some guys that had to get used to. Some of those guys had some tough flights getting here. Some of those guys, they've been up for a while, and a lot of them probably had a lot of mental anxiety of really thinking that they were going to make the team on day 1. But I was pleased with them, and we still tried to, how can I say that, be careful with them and not run them to the ground. So, you know, we wanted to get a good start for them to make sure that they're good when vet camp comes around.
What would you like to accomplish out of rookie camp? Is it more about getting mental reps than actual battles for position right now?
Well, you know, at this point, it's to set them up to really let them know how we practice. So when the vets come in, they know how we practice and what we expect from them. One thing you saw was every play, the offensive guy who caught the ball, he had to score. You know, and that's something that you don't see a lot, but we want them to score on every play. That's something that hadn't been done here and that we're implementing. We want to score. We want to put the points on the board. Defense, they need to get to the ball every single play, and they have to have a certain number of touches, or they got to come see me.
You hear about Rider Nation, and you hear about it, but you haven't seen it. You know, now this day 1 of rookie camp, and you see the fans out here, and all this attention, is it kind of what you expect?
You know what? I'm excited to see them support us. You know, and I know as the weekend comes, I know it'll be so crowded out here we can't even hear ourselves, Coach. But I'm happy to see some people come out and support it. I'm glad to see that fans are still excited about the season, despite what happened last year, and that even though we've made some changes, they're still excited about this upcoming season.
Dwayne Jarrett wasn't here today. Is there a reason yet? Is he on his way? Or?
He's a guy with the flight. We had some guys that got in late last night. I think Dwayne should be in sometime by the end of this week with him getting in. We had a lot of guys that missed a lot of flights, and it was weather and a lot of different things. So I think Dwayne's I think he's scheduled to come in on Friday. Right?
Johan too, or was he back too?
Same thing, Friday. And a couple of guys, one guy had a death in the family, another guy had some family issues. So we're wrapping it up, and that's good. We had a pre-camp before we have the vet camp.